get started. And we're talking today about the throat chakra, which is called Visuddha. And the throat chakra, and it's quite interesting, the throat, because it comes between the body and the mind and the head, obviously, in our brains. And you've got this small little space here that a lot of communication happens in this area, right? So the throat chakra is about speaking your truth without fear. And so it's about communicating your thoughts, your feelings, intentions really clearly and accurately. But it's also, even though it's here, it's also about really deeply listening to others and not letting your life experiences or your social conditioning influence your judgments, right? We sometimes forget how much we've been impacted by the society we've grown up in, by the way we were parented, all of these different things. So it's allowing ourselves a little bit of more of an open mind so that we can truly listen, and then we speak up for ourselves and for others. So working with the throat chakra can be a really healing and liberating experience, because there's sort of a part of it which is about recognizing our mistakes. So it's kind of like a confession or being honest. And then you've got the other side of it where it's about forgiveness as well. So you've got both sides of that. So when you work through it, it can be uncomfortable finding that honesty, but then also working through the forgiveness and moving forward and finding that truth and that honesty. And so it's also about, when we work with this throat chakra, we become more aware of the personal power that we have with our voice, right? We sometimes think that as an individual there's not much we can do in the world, but actually even the way that we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to others, the way that we raise our voices, it can have a really big impact. And I really like this quote from a yoga teacher called Katie Ness, and she says, every choice we make, every thought, word and action is an act of power that has consequences on a biological, environmental, social, personal and global scale. So it's interesting to start thinking about that. And once we become aware of this power, it's how do we use this power effectively? So it can be seeking and sharing the truth. It can be about participating in global matters to make the world better for everyone, not just focusing on our little circle, but really thinking a bit more, how can we impact our community or the world? So on a personal level, it's about working on being honest with ourselves and others. It's about finding your passion, your purpose. So it's thinking about, what am I good at? What do I love to do? And then finding of those things, what of those things, so what am I good at and what do I love to do? And maybe also what of that can help other people and serve other people the most, right? So if this is all about learning to speak up, being who you are, and finding who you truly are within. So we're going to work a little bit on that today. So you're going to find your seat, just really comfortable seat, really finding the length through your spine as always, sitting up super tall. Now just being aware of that throat area here, and also because we're quite often on our phones or our computers, our neck kind of sticks forward a little bit. So just being aware of that and maybe moving the head back so it's in line with the rest of the body. We're going to interlace the fingers and bring the thumbs together. So this is the mudra, the hand posture for the throat chakra. And relaxing through the shoulders, bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. And you can close your eyes here. And just checking in for a moment with yourself. And being honest with yourself here. Just notice how you're feeling today on all sorts of different levels. So it can be a physical level, It can be in your mind, what's happening, is it really chatty, what are the things that are troubling you at the moment? And are you feeling the ability to speak honestly to people, to yourself, to people around you? Just notice and observe. Now we're going to start by being vocal, so using our voice. And you're all on mute, so you just have to listen to me and yourselves. So we're just going to make the sound hum, which is, so it's H-A-U-M. So it's the sound for this chakra. It's the seed. It's the sound that goes along with this chakra. And when for many of us, we're not used to just chanting or using that voice in that way. So notice if it makes you feel uncomfortable and see if you can sit with that discomfort. And if you really find that it's just something that you can't do and you've got people around you and you don't want to be loud, you can also just say it quietly or whisper it to yourself. Okay? So we're going to take a deep inhale to begin, and then we'll just keep repeating that sound. So you don't have to go along with my rhythm, just go with how it works for you. So inhale to begin. Make this the last one, and then just sit with those vibrations. Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, and you can make a sound again, just letting out frustration, any tension. Inhale through the nose, exhaling mouth, one last time, nose, exhaling mouth, pausing here, just staying still for a moment, breathing through the nose. And then you can gently open your eyes. We're going to bring the fingertips to the shoulders. So we're going to inhale here and exhale. So inhale one way, exhale the other, and you can turn your head a little bit with as you move. So it's all through the nose, it's quite rapid, and it's quite forceful. So see if you can work it. If it doesn't work for you, just slow inhales and exhales work. Okay? So we're taking an inhale to begin, and then stop. And back to center, hands to the thighs, close the eyes. You've used a lot of work with that breath, so you might feel a little lightheaded. Just notice and pause. And then you can open your eyes again if you like, bringing the left ear over to the left shoulder. You can maybe bring the left hand over to that ear. And just pressing gently, so it's just a natural press. You're not pressing down any extra energy, weight there, or any extra force. And if you want, you can bring the other arm out and you can play with it. Maybe you notice there's a difference if you move the hand back, or maybe you can move it forward, or just notice where does it feel, where do you feel the benefits the most? What posture? So taking the breath here. You can even press your ear into your hand a little bit, making your neck work a little bit, and then just let go and release that. And using that left hand, just gently picking up the head, hands can come back down, and we're just going the other direction, right ear to right shoulder, left arm can come out. And again, you can play and see where do you feel, where does it feel better, or maybe, maybe it feels the same in all spaces, in all locations, just notice. And then just pressing your ear into your hand a little bit, just gently, you don't need to go crazy with it. And release, and then gently picking the head up. Great. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, just turning towards the back. Inhale, coming up through center. And exhaling, coming the other direction. Coming back through center. And we're going to come onto the feet. So we're going to have the tops of the feet down, just sitting down onto the feet here. We can bring the fingertips in towards the feet, and then we're lifting the chest up and the head back. Now, if you get a little more dizzy here, maybe you don't put your head all the way back. You've got a bit more control of your neck. If it's okay, just let your head just fall back and notice how that feels. Opening through that neck, that space to give you the confidence to speak truthfully, to speak out. And then slowly finding your way up. Now, you can then, if you like, come down a little bit more deeply, coming onto the forearms and pressing up again, chest opening, neck lengthening. So with speaking the truth, we also want to connect with the heart center so that we're speaking from a place of love. However cheesy that might sound. And slowly finding your way up. Turning the fingers now towards your body in front of you. We're going to inhale here, looking at the third eye center, and exhale, the tongue comes out, lion's breath, making noise. Not being afraid, finding confidence, doesn't matter how silly we sound. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time. Inhale. Exhaling here. Excellent. Turning the fingers forward, coming with the knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. And we'll just do some cat-cows because we're then really working, bringing the chin towards the chest, getting length through the back of the throat, of the neck, and inhaling, finding length through the throat. So this is a really good one for working that throat chakra. Inhaling up and exhaling down. You can even play with this and maybe switch over and inhale with your neck towards your chest. And exhaling as you come up. So just notice how that feels different. Inhaling, rounding here. And exhaling, coming up. Excellent. That right leg is going to come behind you, lengthening it out. Toes coming down so that you're activating that foot. The heel presses back. You're going to cross the toes as far as they will go over the other leg. And look around that left shoulder, over at that foot. Taking a couple of breaths through the nose here, slowing the breath down, And inhale, coming through center. You're going to look the other direction. What a difference. This side looks really different. Breathing here. Inhale, coming to center. Leg comes up. Bending through that foot. If you want, you can reach back and try and grab it with the left hand. Otherwise, just having it up and looking back over your left shoulder. So pressing that foot back away from you, opening through that left shoulder, maybe looking around that left elbow. Great. Hand comes back down, leg presses out. Exhale, rounding through the back, knee to nose, and stepping that foot forward between the hands. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up, interlacing the fingers behind the back. And then press, just leaning back, opening through the chest, getting a little bit of length through the neck, but this helps with that phenomenon of having the chin too far forward from using our phones all the time. Pressing back, opening through the chest here. You've got this. Breathing deeply. Excellent. Left hand is then going to come down on the inside of this foot. Right hand coming on up, reaching. You're going to tuck the toes of the back foot, lifting through the knee. And you can look up at your fingertips, if you like, at the top hand. And you can play with looking down at your fingers on the ground. Maybe looking up one more time. You're going to turn the back foot to the side, and you're dropping your hip of the left hip down a little bit. You might need to adjust that right foot a bit. Here we go. And coming back, hands on the inside of that foot. So you can use a block here to come down and bring, or books or whatever you're using here. Pressing the heel back, you can always drop that knee. Excellent. Now, you can drop your chin towards the chest. And then you can bring your gaze up a bit. You can look over to the left a little bit and over to the right. Great. Dropping that knee for everybody. Hands come back up here. One more time with reaching up and hands behind the head, opening up here. Great. Hands coming down, bringing the right to meet the left. And then you can move a little from side to side. We're going the other side. So the left leg comes out, heel pressing back. And we're going to cross it all the way across the other leg as far as it will go. And looking around the right shoulder, finding a stretch in the left side, but also working the neck. Deep breaths. And then looking the other way and seeing how different this pose looks from this viewpoint. Calming back to center, lifting through that leg and bending through the knee. Now, of course, you can stay here. You can use a strap if you want, or you can grab onto your ankle and press back, opening through that shoulder, maybe looking back behind you. Excellent. Calming back, pressing that leg out, inhaling here, and exhaling, knee into center, bringing the foot forward, reaching the arms forward, all the way up, and then the hands interlacing and opening here through the chest. Couple of deep breaths. If you know Ujjayi breathing, using that sound, that constricted sound at the back of the throat to help with your breathing or create that Ujjayi breath. Releasing the arms, right hand comes down on the inside of that leg, the left comes up. Now, if you want, you can tuck the back toe, lifting through that back leg. And you can look up at the top hand, top fingers, and you can look down at the ones on the ground. Again, you can look up gently, and then I'm going to turn on that back foot. So I'm on the outside edge, and then the hip can drop a little bit here. Taking a breath or two. Hands come back down on the inside of the foot, and we're kind of even to the front again. And again, you can come down on your blocks or on the mat. You can drop that back knee if you like, or keep it lifted with the heel pressing back if it's lifted. And then bringing the chin into the chest. Maybe looking over to one side. Maybe over to the other side. And then looking up a little bit. Coming back to center. Bringing the hands either side of the foot. Dropping the knee. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. Interlacing the fingers. And opening here through the chest. Great. Hands come back. Knee comes back to meet the other one. And we just open through the knees and just come into a child's pose here. A couple of slow breaths. And then we're going to roll on up here. And we're going to come up into, back into a tabletop, and then pressing into a downward facing dog. So your first dog of the class, you can bend one leg and then the other. And maybe you bend both knees for a bit, finding that length through the arms and the back so that it's completely straight. And then maybe finding a little bit more length through the legs. Trying to make that V shape and then finding a bit of stillness here. We're going to look forward between the hands. We're going to look back and bring the chest towards the chin towards the chest. And then coming into neutral where the ears are between the arms. We're going to take the right hand and grab somewhere along the left leg, finding a little twist here, and also working with that throat, the neck, as we look under the left shoulder. Excellent. Calming back, pressing down. Again, looking forward between the hands, exhaling, chin to the chest. Coming back into neutral, and then we're coming over, twisting the other direction. And then coming back into a down dog, pressing back and up. Now we're going to look forward here and play with some bunny hops. And that just means we're looking far forward between the hands, even in front of the hands. And then we're just going to hop the feet up to the butt. So you may get there, you may not, and we're just going to do a few of those. Just practicing, looking forward and hop. 3 more. Excellent. And then slowly bringing your hands back towards the feet, folding forward. Allowing the head just to hang. This is one of the rare occasions when the neck doesn't have to do any work. Just let the neck go. Let gravity pull the head down towards the ground. And you can just be like a rag doll, just hanging out here, bending the knees any amount. And maybe you can then shake your head no, nod your head yes. And then you're going to bend your knees a lot. Arms coming out to both sides, coming all the way up. Arms up to the top, Touching a little back bend here. And exhale. Hands coming to heart center. Maybe palms coming out to the sides. Closing your eyes. Slowing down the breath. Slowing down the heartbeat. Okay, so we're going to work with bringing the left arm up, and we're going to bring the elbow or the palm down on the back, in the center of the back. Maybe you can use your right hand to kind of pull down a little bit gently on the elbow, and then the other hand coming up. So if you need to, you might have a strap, you might find a towel, or you can just grab onto your shirt. So we're going to stand at the front with this pose here, and then stepping that right foot up. So you're standing on your left leg, and you're going to then step that leg with control, if you can, back behind you. So the heel comes down, that back leg is lengthened, and opening through the chest and maybe the neck a little bit here as you come up, look up, and exhale. You're going to fold forward over that front leg. Chest towards the thigh. Inhale, coming on up. And exhale, you're going to come on the inside of that leg now. So folding forward inside of that leg. Inhale, coming on up. Now you're going to turn the toes in towards each other, so you're in straddle, and exhaling forward, flat back to begin with, and folding down. Inhale, coming on up, and then you're turning the toes into warrior two the other direction, folding forward here, chest down on the inside. Inhale, coming up, fold facing the other back of the room, and folding over that leg, chest towards the thigh, and coming on up, stepping the leg forward, releasing the arms. Woo. Notice how that feels. Okay, this time we're switching sides, so that was very intense, so maybe we might want to inhale, bringing the arms up, and exhale, letting the shoulders come towards shoulder blades towards each other, and hands down. Inhaling up, exhale towards and drop, shaking everything out. All right, right leg is down. I was just trying to do it so I could face the front. And with control, you're just lifting that back behind you, opening through the chest here, and exhaling, folding over that thigh here. Inhale, coming on up, and exhale, folding on the inside of that leg. Inhale, coming on up. You're going to turn so that your toes are coming in towards each other, and exhale, folding forward, flat back first, and then folding all the way down. Inhale, coming on up. You're facing the other way, and exhale on the inside of that leg, fold. Inhale, coming up, and then facing the back. Exhale, folding over that leg. Inhale, up, stepping the leg forward, and release. Shoulders, shaking them out, and then closing the eyes. Palms face forward. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, sighing it out through the mouth. Ha. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Ha. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Ha. We're going to bring the hands to heart center. Right leg is pressing down as your standing leg. Left can be in kickstand, or you can cross over here with the ankle and activating the toes so they're coming in towards the knee, and then we're in this pose, one-legged chair pose, as we come down a little bit and the weight comes back a little bit. We can bring the chin down towards the chest here if we like. Taking a moment, finding your balance, it's not easy. Inhale, looking on up. So it's hard because we're not got a point of focus if we're moving here. And then maybe you're going to look around your right shoulder. It's very difficult. So being patient, inhale through center and exhale looking to the left. Coming back to center, standing up, shaking it out. Excellent. Palms can come to the front, closing the eyes. Deep inhale here. Exhale mouth. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. And then you can open your eyes. We're switching sides. Your solid leg, standing leg is the left one. Toes are coming in. So you're activating that foot. Hands to the chest. And you can start to sit down. Finding stability, it's not so easy. And then you can bring the chin down towards the fingertips, or bringing the chin down to the chest. Woo. Inhale, coming to center. It's okay if you're wobbly. Looking up, coming center. Looking right and center and looking left. You got this. Coming center, standing on up, releasing here. Palms coming out, closing the eyes. One more time, inhaling deeply, nose. Exhaling mouth, you can stick your tongue out too if you like. Inhale nose. Exhaling mouth. It's okay to make mistakes. Inhale nose. Exhale, tongue out. It's okay to sound silly sometimes. Just letting it out, being vocal. And then opening the eyes here. We're going to stand at the top of the mat again, but the arms are going to come out. Right is going to come under left. So left over right. So we can come here with the feet solid for a moment, and just we're pressing the elbows out away from us, fingers up to the sky. If that doesn't work, just giving yourself a hug here, pressing out. And we're just going to bring the chin down towards the chest, and then opening up as well, looking up at the sky. One more time, chin towards the chest, and inhale, looking up at the sky. Brilliant. And then coming into center, you're just switching sides. So this time it's the right over the left, pressing the arms away from you. And just chin towards the chest. And inhale, looking up at the ceiling, finding that length. Exhaling, rounding. And inhaling, looking on up. Great. Releasing here, letting it go. We're going to come down onto the ground. So we're going to come onto knees. You can tuck the toes if you like. Inhaling, we're going to bring the thumbs in towards each other, elbows squeeze in, hips are pressing forward. So this is already quite intense, where you're just leaning back, opening through the neck. Again, if it's too much, you can always bring your head up a little bit. But otherwise, you're letting your head just go. And if you want, you could bring a left hand down to the left heel. The right arm comes up and you're just stretching over. So it might work for you, it might not. You just work with wherever you're at. But you don't want to crunch the lower back. So being really mindful of how this feels for you. Inhale, calming back up. Okay, hands can be thumbs towards each other again. Elbows really squeezing, hips pressing forward. Opening up through the chest. And then the right hand can come down to that ankle. Left arm up if that feels good. Breathing here. Inhale, finding your way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, sitting back down on the heels here. So your toes are tucked. This really feels uncomfortable for a lot of people. We do a lot with our feet, with our toes, and we forget to give them care and attention. So seeing if you can spread the toes, if you can sit with this discomfort, breathing for a moment, it's just for a short time. Excellent. So we're now going to come onto our hands and our feet. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So the feet are hips width distance apart. And you can then lift up through the hips again, opening through the neck if it feels good. It might all be a bit too intense. We've done a lot of work. So just listening, maybe just having your head up a bit more. Taking a moment. A couple of deep breaths here. And then slowly, slowly coming down. Now, you can do that same pose again if you like, or if you want to go a bit for a more intense pose, you can bring the legs out in front of you, and then inhale, we're lifting up through the whole body, and the hips particularly lifting up, opening through the neck, the throat, and slowly calming on down. Great. While we're here, we'll just inhale up, toes coming in towards you. Exhale, coming any way forward, as long as you've got your back really lengthened, right? So with straight legs to begin with, you might edge your way forward a little bit, but trying to keep that spine really straight. You might find you're here or here, that's all fine. Breathing here. And then you can bend your knees any amount, or maybe you have the flexibility to come forward and keep that back straight. Your choice. Trying to bring the chest down towards the legs, maybe looking forward at the toes. And slowly finding your way up. We're going to come down onto the ground and we're going to work on shoulder stand. So I think, I'm not absolutely sure who's in this, who's watching this today. So we'll have to see. I think everybody though who's been in my classes has had experience with shoulder stand. If it's hard on your neck or if you feel any pain, obviously don't do it. You can always use the wall to help push your feet up against the wall. If that's easier for you. So then you come up to legs against the wall and you just press into the wall to help to lift yourself up, and you can play here. But if you've just got regular shoulder stand in your practice, you're just going to come up with your elbows really pushing in towards each other, hands on your lower back. And you're going to press the balls of your feet up to the sky, really pressing up. And then you can come into any variations you like here. So you can bring the soles of your feet together and knees coming out to the sides. Breathing here. And then if you like, pressing the feet back into the sky and bringing the knees either side of the ears. So if you get them down on the ground, you can interlace your fingers and press the arms down into the ground, otherwise keeping your hands to your back. And then if you have plow within your practice, you can play straightening your legs, but it's up to you. Just being really careful, and of course you want no pain in your neck at all. Taking a couple of breaths wherever you are. And then slowly rolling yourself down, coming into fish pose, Matsyendrasana, palms underneath your butt, forearms down on the ground, lifting through the chest, lengthening through the neck. If you want to take it, work a little harder with your core, you can lift the legs and hover them. Taking a few breaths here. And release, coming all the way down to the ground, just feeling the lovely ground there beneath you. Excellent. We're going to bring the feet in towards the butt, pressing the shoulders down into the ground. We're going to, so the feet are hips width distance apart, pressing the hands into the ground, lifting up through the hips here. So bringing the hips up. You can tuck the shoulders if you want. So you can interlace the fingers and tuck the shoulders underneath you to kind of find a little bit of space in the chest and a bit of lift in the chest. But if you don't have your arms interlaced, your fingers interlaced, that's fine. You can have them underneath your hips if you like, on your lower back, or you can just bring them placing them down on the ground, your choice. We're going to lift the right leg up to the sky, crossing that ankle over the other knee and opening through that hip, activating the toes again on that foot, pressing the hips up. One more time, pressing that leg up to the sky and placing that foot down. Other side, left leg pressing up to the sky. Bending through the knee, crossing it over the other foot or the other knee, activating those toes, lifting through the hips. Inhale, pressing foot up to the sky, bending through the foot and the knee rather, and letting go of the interlace, if you've interlaced, and slowly, one vertebra at a time, coming on down. Knees coming in, giving yourself a really beautiful hug. Lifting up the head if it feels good. Maybe you can rock from side to side. Maybe you can rock forward and back. Finding a little bit of a back massage here. Excellent. So you've got a choice. You can come into happy baby here. If you want to come, if you still want a little bit of work with the neck and the throat, you can come into a full wheel, bringing the fingertips towards your feet, pressing so the elbows in towards each other, and pressing your head down onto the ground first. That's your first step. And maybe that's where you get to, where your elbows are pressing in towards each other and your head is on the ground here. If you want to take it further, lifting up, pressing back so your chest is coming over your wrists and playing with that for as long as you like and coming on down when you're ready. Maybe joining everybody when you're ready in happy baby. Deep breaths. Excellent. So we're going to bring our legs into eagle legs. So the right coming over the left, and you can tuck the toes if you can get there, and not to worry if you can't. And we're just bringing the legs over across the body. So the right arm coming out to the side, if that feels good, and looking over those fingertips. If this is not your favorite spinal twist, come into a spinal twist of your choice. Breathing here, pressing right shoulder into the ground. Noticing how your neck is feeling. If it's too much on your neck to look over, just looking on up at the sky. So breathing. Close your eyes, do 3 deep breaths here. Unraveling the legs, coming back through center. Left goes over right this time. Tucking it the toes if you want. Pressing the foot up to the sky for the moment. And then you're going to bring them over to the right side. Maybe looking over the left shoulder here. So feeling your shoulder and arm press into the mat, maybe using your right hand just to help guide those knees down towards the mat on the right side. And close your eyes here. And maybe bringing your attention to 3 deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself back into center, unraveling those legs, giving yourself a really nice unconditional hug. Right? It can be really hard to find what the truth is and to then be able to speak your truth out. So just being compassionate, being kind, being loving, being open, and squeezing yourself here, right? To recognize that you're there for yourself. And then you can stretch yourself out into Shavasana. So coming into Shavasana, however you like to have Shavasana, if you need some, if it feels good to put some cushions under your knees, go for it. If you prefer to come into Baddha Konasana, legs, butterfly legs, go for it. Just listening to what you want. Otherwise, the toes just fall out to the sides, your palms just coming face up, shoulders pressing down. And before we start, just in case there's any tension left in the head, just slowly moving the head from side to side. Just very slowly letting everything go in terms of tension in the neck and anywhere else in the body. And then allow yourself just to let go, just to surrender. There's nothing you need to do here at all, but just be. Slowly finding a little bit of movement in your body. Wriggling fingers, toes, maybe circling wrists and ankles. And again, you can move your head from side to side, just really carefully, really being mindful of your neck, your throat, and reaching the arms up overhead, finding length from fingers to toes, and then coming into one final hug here, and rolling onto your right side. You can use your right arm as a pillow, just pausing here, noticing the ground beneath you, there to support you. And then gently pressing yourself up into a seated pose, just finding what feels comfortable for you. And you can open your eyes for a second if you like. You're going to bring your hands, so the left hand is going to face outwards, the right one's going to come in front, and you're going to then curl the fingers, and you're just going to hook the fingers together, the elbows pulling out to the sides just gently, and then you can close your eyes. So we're going to work at the end with that sound of Haum again, so H-A-U-M. So you can chant that again out loud or whispering, and we're just going to do it for a few rounds to end the class. So taking a deep inhale to start. Haum. 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 Make this the last one. Relax your arms down. Close the eyes if they're not already closed, and just sit with those vibrations, with that vocalization. And just notice how your body feels now, how your mind feels. Just notice if you feel a difference in the area of your throat chakra. It's just an energy center. But we've been working that center quite a bit in class today, so just notice how that feels. And maybe playing today or the next few days or the next few weeks with using your words wisely, but maybe finding your voice, finding your truth, finding your ability to be honest and vocal with the things that matter. Finding that confidence and that power. Bringing hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching the arms out to the sides and all the way up, touching at the top. And exhaling, hands coming to heart center. Inhale, reaching out and all the way up, touching. Exhale, hands coming in. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bowing your head, chin to chest one last time, getting length through the back of the neck. Finding gratitude here for yourself, for taking the time for your mind and your body. And then looking on up, you've got your eyes closed maybe still, but finding that length through the neck. And then you can bring the hands up to the third eye center up there. It's a pleasure, as always, guiding you through your practice. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.